Today is March 11th, 2026, giving you guys your daily Ori 3 news. For today's news status, this is the 1 year anniversary of the daily Ori 3 news YouTube channel. It is hard to believe that it's been this long since I've been posting reports, posting videos, if there's anything related to Ori, to Moon Studios, to Xbox with the whole multi-platform shift. And I'm rushing this intro because I chose a separate file to compile all these videos and I didn't have time to do this properly. I won't lie, for the past couple of days I haven't been sleeping well, so that's why the uploading schedule has been a bit staticky in a way. But hopefully this 1 year anniversary video can make up for it. I'm not gonna edit the intro and the outro. I'm just gonna go straight to it, get straight to the point and say thank you for watching my YouTube channel, for supporting this channel, for commenting, for liking, for sharing these posts, and for just being here with this one thing that we all believe in, and that is Ori 3 and an Ori PlayStation port. So far, we have almost 30 members in the Discord server. We have almost 100 people that have participated in becoming a special guest host for Daily Ori 3 News. And it has been an honor to have you guys as an audience, and I'll never take that for granted. It's hard to believe that when I first started this channel, I was a small creator, and now I've been mentioned in not just the Reddit, but also the Discord server of the Ori series, or Moon Studios as a whole. Now, I am not aware if the developers of Moon Studios have watched this channel, but if they have, you are welcome to become a member of the Discord server and a special guest host as well. So with all that being said, this is the 1 year anniversary of Daily Ori 3 News. Back in April 9th, 2024, we got a tweet from OriBox says, Game Informer interview with Moon Studios about an Ori 3. Thomas Mailer says he has some ideas for a third Ori game, quote, I have a title for it already. He continues, I have some ideas, but so far right now, we are completely focused on Noise for the Wicked. This is huge. With the title of the article is saying, why Moon Studios made Noise for the Wicked instead of a third Ori game. However, while Noise for the Wicked is Moon Studios' main focus for the time being, and considering it's a game being developed alongside the community in early access, it could be the studio's focus for years to come. Studio CEO and creative director Thomas Mailer says he has some ideas for a third Ori game. I have a title for it already, he says. At this point, Corot jumps in to explain he didn't know about this, stating, I didn't know that it was on the table. Mailer continues, I have some ideas, but so far right now, we're completely focused on Noise for the Wicked for the time being. Our second form of a somewhat Ori 3 news, where Thomas Mailer says, Noel, I hope now you folks understand why we won't be making Ori 3 anytime soon with the focus of Noise for the Wicked. And a recent one about a half a month ago where OriBox makes this tweet saying, holy shit guys, this is it, Ori 3 might be real soon. Microsoft has approached Moon Studios, Thomas Mailer for development of Ori 3. Quote, we had a call with Microsoft a few days ago, let's see what'll happen, from a Reddit post from the official Ori and the Blind Forest subreddit. Now, assuming so, I don't know if this is either the Ori Discord or the Noise for the Wicked Discord of him sending these messages, but with him saying, I promised people on X, which is Twitter, that I'd reveal the title I had for Ori 3 once we sell 10 million copies of Noise for the Wicked. Captain BG says, I'd rather another Ori not be made if it's not under Moon, to be honest. I don't think we need a third Ori game that badly. Where he responds, I think the biggest issue is probably story. You could already take all the mechanics we made for Wisps and just expand upon that, and you need some incredibly good level designers, but story-wise, I'm not sure I could think of any studio off the top of my head that would fit perfectly to continue Ori's story. Stress says Moon Studios and Team Cherry collab with the emoji of explosion. He responds by saying that would be rad indeed too. Hayes, or Heisey, however you pronounce your name, says Ori 3 is currently being worked on by some studio. Might be, but in that case, that would never reach out to us. No, they would never reach out to us / me, which I think would be very strange. Son of Fox Rock Rogue and Survival Haters says, I know Wicked is like designed to be a perfect game, but I am kinda sad. It means we don't get a 3D platformer from you guys for at least 10 years, at Thomas Mandler. Don't know about that. Wicked is highest priority for me, but we just had a call with Microsoft a few days ago. Let's see what'll happen. We'll be able to do a lot of things, but again, I'll be on Wicked and perfect it. Now, there's really nothing else that is Ori related so far. However, we got some celebration from Xbox of its 10th anniversary, showing that Xbox does care for the indie game platform Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisps. This one still gets the tears flowing. Happy 10th anniversary to Ori and the Blind Forest. In some more unrelated Ori news, Thomas Mandler made this tweet by saying, in other amazing news, the Ori series has now sold more than 15 million copies. Not too shabby for Metroidvania and a genre we were told is dead when we started to work on it. So thank you to everyone who supported us so far. Much love. During the North for the Wicked Insider, both Thomas Mandler and Giddy D. Carroll have confirmed that they are now a fully independent studio after acquiring the rights of the early access game, that being North for the Wicked, from the unfortunate shutdown of Take-Two Interactive, from legal action that they couldn't speak, but now that they have the green light to do so, while the North for the Wicked Insider was premiering. Oribox made this tweet where he said, if Moon Studios is an independent studio now, that makes me wonder, when it comes to being fully independent, does that also mean no partnerships of any kind? Also meaning if Microsoft wanted an Ori 3, would they still be okay with doing partnerships, or would they do their own IPs? And that's a really good question of whether or not they have the right to do what they want to do as an independent studio, and if when they make a sequel to the Ori series, that being Ori 3 with the unknown title, as said previously in January 27, 2025, where he said, and I'm assuming the North for the Wicked Discord, well, he will reveal the title for Ori 3 once North for the Wicked gets 10 million copies, which is a reference to what he said exactly 1 year and 1 day ago, when he said that Ori and the Blind Forest has sold around 10 million copies, which probably makes it the most successful Metroidvania ever made, but its dev could have gone bankrupt. Now, I have talked to an artist that is no longer in the Ori community, and he has said that it is a pretty strange business practice that Thomas Mandler is planning. But I guess with how many people are fans of roguelikes and Souls-likes, and the fact that a famous set of streamers have gotten the access, and well, I should say early access to North for the Wicked, I guess so that North for the Wicked could sell 10 million copies, but for that to be an instant, it's gonna take a while for it to sell well, and the attention that it would get naturally and not by force. With that said, we're gonna have to wait for what Moon Studios is planning up now that they're fully independent. Will this be a good long run, or will it be cut short with any interactions or interference by their previous publishers? Only time will tell for what we are going to be seeing next. On my second episode of Daily Ori 3 News, that being Daily Ori 3 News, Day 2, Moon Studios is now independent, I got a comment from Jesus Amembro saying Ori 3 is already a thing. Leakers said it's happening along with Phil Spencer himself playing Ori on Xbox, hence it's happening. And what he's referencing is a tweet made by Oribox where he says Ori 3 is definitely coming. Phil Spencer has a history of playing games after taking or seeing a studio after looking at their new project. When Phil Spencer came back from seeing Hellblade 2, he played Hellblade again. Same thing with Ninja Gaiden, and same thing with Gears. Huge today. Now, this is Phil Spencer's apparent Discord profile picture with P3 as his username, and as you can see, at the time of this tweet being made by Oribox, he was online playing Ori and the Will of the Wisps. I did reply to Jesus Amembro where I said, I have seen the picture of Phil Spencer playing Ori and the Will of the Wisps. However, I haven't seen anything about the leakers, quote unquote, claiming that it is true. Is there an article or screenshot you can send to me on Twitter? I'll be making another episode if this is true. But as you can see, I still made this episode anyway. Now, I guess in a way to support this claim was when the Red Dragon made this tweet almost a month ago where Phil Spencer changed his bio from head of Xbox to head of Microsoft Gaming. Now, of course, this is somewhat related to the multi-platform shift that they've been public about for already a year. And I guess not to sound schizo, but with the background that Phil Spencer is using on his official Twitter account is probably hinting that Ori 3 is gonna be made. I probably sound schizo. I'm probably breaking character in this episode. So I guess I do believe that maybe Ori 3 could be in the works with Phil Spencer playing Ori and the Will of the Wisps. I guess we might have some little updates in the future, but for now, we'll just have to take this as a grain of salt and have our hopes in a positive light and not in a negative tone. With the tweet being made by Oribox himself saying, rumor, Moon Studios is working on a port on both Ori games to the PS5 and is right now in the development stage and slated to come out sometime next year. Hopefully we hear more about the port, maybe they can confirm if they are making it. Now, though this is a rumor of both Ori games going to PlayStation and with Xbox's public switch of all games going to their rival consoles, that being PlayStation and or Nintendo Switch, this rumor could be true in the sense that the other rumored Xbox games that were going to get ported to PlayStation, such as Forza Horizon 5 and Indiana Jones, both Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisps could be a possibility. Only time will tell when we get more news in regards of both Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisps to get ported to the PS5. In the official Ori and the Blind Forest subreddit, it says, "Hey Ori fans and mods, last night I interviewed Thomas Mandler, the head of Moon Studios, which made Ori. In it, we discuss Ori 3, if it has any fur, and how the game was made." Now, in it, with the title, this does sound pretty misleading because it's a pretty big, claim to talk about Ori 3. Though, when it comes to a newer project being made, not a lot of things can be said. Therefore, there's such thing as a non-disclosure agreement, or an NDA. For Paul makes a comment saying, "To save everyone's time, video is 1.5 hours long. I found exactly where they talk about Ori 3. It took me forever, but short answer to Ori 3, no comment." The long answer was when the speaker says, "Obviously people are huge fans of Ori and the Will of the Wisps as well. Will a third Ori 3, ever be planned to be made? Is there a plan in your head, or are we dedicated full time to North for the Wicked for the next few years? Are we thinking launching a third Ori after North for the Wicked? Question mark. People are curious." Now, Thomas Mandler responds to this by saying, "I can't tell, no comment, I can't tell you any of that. I get in hot water, but I can't say anything. Not sure why the stupid bait in the title, but yeah, no news, no comment. I'm guessing potentially down the road if he has to be hush hush. I think we can assume that there is something happening, either a PS5 port, a third game, or both." Now, Fort Paul replied to this by saying, "Agreed, but why debate in the title, man?" With the disappointed emoticon. Now, though it is kind of disappointing with this interview, it is cool to know that he went down to earth with this interview, but with this misleading title of anything about Ori 3, it's pretty much a letdown. But at least we got a reply to Thomas Mandler when he got asked that question during the interview. With the Reddit post being made by more_photographer_4 on the official Ori and the Blind Forest subreddit, the title says, "Ori coming to PS5, possible hint from Moon Studios CEO." This was translated from German, where the question was, can we perhaps expect the two brilliantly magnificent Ori games for the PS5 sometime in the near future? His response was the salmon must be buttered, with the original picture he used for the reply, which could be interpreted as things have to be done properly. Now, the list of responses of this Reddit post were very supportive, with Bob Midberger saying, "Now even more people can enjoy our beloved Ori." Emarantine Azure, if I'm saying that correctly, with him saying, "I don't usually do this, but if it happens, I'll gladly be buying those games for the third time." Consistent_phase A22 says, "Yay, more people can see Ori." For Paul says, "This and Halo were the only reason I bought my Xbox Series X launch day, and 5 years later, still the only two games I played on my Xbox. Can't wait for it to come to PlayStation. Hope they bring 4K at 120Hz too, and maybe even more with PS5 Pro." Solarstone2149 says, "Wish they made a third game. They could do follow-up if you watched Ori 2 ending, but I censored that line because I feel like that is a potential spoiler." And lastly, _RKS2_ says, "Oh my god," repeatedly, which he couldn't control his typing method with a T in the middle. Now, I guess in a way, we do have some small confirmations here and there about Ori possibly going to PS5 for this entire month, really. With more of these coming on the way, it is very likely that we're going to be seeing Ori on the PS5, and also both games, that being Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisps. With the tweet being made by Oribox himself, he says, "I've seen some old Ori rumors get leaked and then shot down. Before, with the stuff I've been seeing about both Ori games coming to PS5, nothing has yet to be turned down. I think it's coming. And just like before, it could just be on a random day." Now that is true, there has been some articles of whether or not there's going to be a PS4 and or PS5 port for Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisps, with the recent one asking if the Ori series is coming to PS5. And that is true. The speculation of Ori going to PS5 has not even been shut down, even with the video I made recently of Thomas Miller responding if there could be a PS5 port of both Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisps, which he responded in German by saying that the salmon must be buttered, in a way of saying that things must be done properly, which I did talk about in my recent video of the news that we have gotten so far. And with the frequent talk of Ori going to PS5, there is no denying, like I said in my previous videos, that it's going to the next console. On top of that, with the whole Xbox multi-platform shift and the fact that both Ori games are most likely going to PS5 specifically, just like Hi-Fi Rush when it got ported to PlayStation, but only as a PS5 exclusive. Now, with him saying that it could just be a random day, could be saying that it will be a shadow drop, which in fairness is a theory, but we'll have to wait that we'll get a release date for one Ori game and the second one, or both Ori games in one release date trailer. With the video being posted by Ike Reviews, this was posted back in 2021, and if you're checking his channel, he has posted some other leaks, that being Pokemon Legends ZA Mega Evolutions, the Pokemon Generation 10 Starter Pack, the Avengers Doomsday League, including the Mortal Kombat 1 roster stages, modes, and DLC leaks, and the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC leaks as well. And in the sense this is my first time doing this, here's the video. And I do find it pretty ironic where Oribox did make this tweet by saying that he has seen some old Ori rumors get leaked and shot down before, but with Ori games going to the PlayStation, nothing has been yet turned down, and this video has happened to be one of them. Now, even though this does look legit, in the bio in his YouTube channel, it does say that he's the biggest troll on the internet, so we don't know if this is true or not. And if it is true, we're going to be having a release date trailer sometime this year or next year, or potentially in the Summer Game Fest is happening in June 6th. With Jeff Keighley, the host of Summer Game Fest, Gamescom, and the Game Awards, making the tweet saying, "We're proud to welcome a record-setting 60+ partners for Summer Game Fest 2025, a global celebration of video games in Los Angeles this June." And with a glance, you see a handful of developer and publisher names in this roster. I don't know why I said it like that, but let's just keep it. And right off the bat, you see Xbox and PlayStation in the roster. Even though we don't see Moon Studios, there could be a possibility we could be seeing anything that is related to Ori, in the sense about the multi-platform shift. Now, although we cannot predict what's going to happen for the Summer Game Fest, but there could be a possibility of seeing a trailer for a PlayStation port for the Ori series. But all we can do now is wait for the next 9 days for the Summer Game Fest to go live. With PlayStation saying the State of Play returns tomorrow, June 4th. Watch live at 2 p.m. PT, 11 p.m. CEST on YouTube and Twitch for news and updates on great games coming to PS5. Now, whether or not we're going to be getting any news about the Ori series going to PlayStation in regards of the Xbox multi-platform shift, we're gonna have to wait and see for what's gonna be in the State of Play showcase. Even though it's hypothetical, I am hoping that I get to see this tomorrow. Streaming Friday, June 6th, with Jeff Keighley hosting the live event. At 5 p.m. EST, 2 p.m. PST, 10 p.m. BST, 11 p.m. CEST, and 6 a.m. JST. Now, if you remember, yesterday was a PlayStation State of Play, which in my opinion was pretty decent, and sadly we haven't gotten any news about Ori going to PlayStation. Now, like I said, we don't know if it's going to be shown on the Summer Game Fest, this, but I'm crossing my fingers that hopefully tomorrow we get to see a trailer of both Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisps get ported to PlayStation. With the post being made by Gaza GP, the title says Ori Episode 3, I'm assuming, with the title being discussion slash debate, says, so where do we put any petition slash request slash crowdfund a third installment? Hands down, the best game I've ever played with all the necessary simplicities and complications and challenges a game deserves. I finished both games and I've gone back to playing WOTW, which is a acronym for Will of the Wisps. Again, can't get enough of it. Now, I honestly do think it's a pretty cool idea to make a petition or some sort of crowdfund for the third installment for the Ori game, and though the disc has been posted 4 days ago, unfortunately I wasn't able to keep up about it because I haven't got notification on Gmail because it's pretty late, so I'm sorry for not posting this on episode 112. And just from this post alone, I'm pretty sure it has gotten the attention from Thomas Mandler and the rest of the crew from Moon Studios. But hey, we never know. Maybe if this does become a reality, with this helping hand, we could help Moon Studios to have enough funding for the third installment to the Ori series. With the tweet being made by Noticias PlayStation, it says in Spanish but translated by Grok, where it says, attention, the outlet The Game Business claims that in the coming weeks there will be announcements of Xbox Games ports to PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch. The announcements might take place at Gamescom. Now immediately the only Xbox ported game to PlayStation I could think of is Gears of War Reloaded, that was announced back in May 5th and will release in August 26th this year, which will release 6 days after Gamescom. But there's also a possibility for the Ori series to also get a PlayStation port, possibly for PS5 specific or maybe PS4 and PS5. In the sense of the multi-platform shift, we might possibly be seeing a PS5 port to the Ori series, but then again, we'll have to see it to believe it. The games that are going to be featured are Call of Duty Black Ops 7, Resident Evil 7 Requiem, Fallout, Ghost of Yotai, Ninja Gaiden 4, Silent Hill F, World of Warcraft Midnight, and The Outer Worlds 2, just to name a couple. The highlight of this video are the expected Xbox game ports that's going to be ported to the PS5 and the Nintendo Switch. The notable ones to be expected to be ported to PlayStation and the Nintendo Switch are Starfield, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, and Halo the Master Chief Collection. Now with Gamescom being live for a couple hours and the rumors regarding the Xbox ports coming to Gamescom, does this mean that we're going to get a PlayStation port for the Ori series? For now, we don't know yet, and if we do get a PlayStation port for the Ori series, I will delete this video and make an updated version of this episode with my reaction in full. That is the only condition I will give for today's episode. With the tweet being made by Thomas Mandler himself, he says, I've been checking out Silksong over the last few days, and I've already been getting questions from people about how I like it. It works a lot better for me than the first one did. I enjoyed the pacing a lot more. But mostly what's going through my head while playing is how all the stuff we learned on Wicked could be applied to Metroidvanias. By now we've learned how we to do multiplayer in a game like this, which is incredibly hard to do, and it'd be fun at some point to create a Metroidvania that has a live role similar to what we're doing in Wicked. Is there anything anyone has seen so far in Silksong that's radically new and pushes the genre forward? I'm only 4 to 5 hours in so far. And then the term Ori Sanity has been created. With this Reddit post that has gotten a lot of attention in the official Ori and the Blind Forest subreddit being made by Wendy's Burger saying, I don't think Ori 3 is an if at this point. Throwing the meme of the guy breaking off the chains looking at the sunset, except it is a silhouette of Ori breaking off the chains looking at the sunset. Showing a screenshot of a person summarizing the whole interview that a person had with Thomas Mandler that I did make a video about a couple weeks back about the news that we had for Ori 3 kinda, and the tweet that we just talked about in this video. To summarize these paragraphs is essentially giving context of the first and second screenshot that this person did give to the Reddit post that's getting a lot of attention, and the conclusion where he said, and that's really about it. Now a bunch of dots on a piece of paper doesn't seem like much, but once they start forming a line, a drawing, that's where Cope spawns from, and I'm overflowing with it right now. Let me know what you lot think. Maybe there's more stuff I missed that makes Ori 3 look more possible. Do you think I'm too hopeful? I'd love to discuss this further. And another post that is identical to the screenshot that we just talked about earlier, being made by Vast_Tab3331, saying, "Do I smell Ori 3 in the making?" with over 160 upvotes, getting a lot of attention. And as predicted, that I did talk about in my main channel, where I said that the Ori fans are gonna be the new Silksong fans. Now, with this being a possible belief that Ori 3 is gonna be in the works, with Thomas Mandler getting a lot of inspiration by playing Hollow Knight Silksong with only 4 to 5 hours of gameplay so far, it is more than likely that we're probably going to see Ori 3 in 2030 or in 2032. But it is worth to take note that Ori 3 is real. With the Reddit post being made by Wendy's Burger, he has given me a shout out by saying Aura Aura himself has appeared on DO3N, which is an acronym for Daily Ori 3 News. And then I got a couple of comments that I do want to read. This one saying, "The Silk Sanity never dies, it merely just changes form." Another one saying, "Now it's Ori Sanity and we're in the devs can't count to 3 and we're waiting for the third game 3 group." Unlike Silksong, and Ori 3 is purely hypothetical and doesn't officially exist. Silksong didn't exist either until weeks ago. That thing these fans had for years, just a collective hallucination and nothing. The real Silksong was shadow dropped just like that. We missed you. Yes, I know there is daily Silksong DLC news, but still, why are they doing news about a non-existent game, lol? Well, you know what? I think that is a good question. They need to create a post for it that says light post. I don't get it. Now, the discount for the Ori and the Blind Forest PVC statues in this website called Orphe Viju. It's a website in Spain where instead of buying the Ori and the Blind Forest PVC for 150 euros, you get a discount of 27 euros and you can buy it for 122 euros and 64 cents. Also, just to keep you guys a heads up, even though I mentioned it in the description, I unfortunately haven't been able to play the Ori series. I'm still waiting for the PlayStation port, and that is why in the second form of Daily Ori 3 News, there's going to be a rumored PlayStation State of Play that's going to be broadcast next week. Being asked by Saldo Lorena asking, when will the PlayStation Showcase be? Is there a possible day at Nate the Hate 2? Where he says Sony has a presentation soon. Then Rockstarverse asked, by soon, do you mean this week soon or later in the month? And then he replied by saying next, as in next week. Now, in the sense of the Xbox multi-platform shift, does this mean that we'll finally get to see a PlayStation port trailer for the Ori series coming to PS4 and PS5, or PS5 specifically? For now, we'll have to wait until we do see the rumored PlayStation State of Play that will potentially be broadcasted next week. Previously, about the news that we talked about with Nate the Hate, where he said that there's going to be a presentation that Sony's going to show. When they ask when is it going to be, this week soon or later in the month, and he said next, as in next week. And since today is next week, somebody did ask if they're gonna have any show to announce, and he did reply by saying that it should be announced early week since it'll air by midweek. To summarize it, he's saying that it's most likely going to be announced either Monday or Tuesday, and it'll stream on Wednesday since Wednesday is the day that it's in the middle of the week. Now, does this mean that we'll finally get to see the Ori series get ported to PlayStation? We're gonna have to wait until the PlayStation State of Play is going to be announced. With the pinned tweet being said by PlayStation themselves, they said a new State of Play airs September 24. Tune in for 35 plus minutes of reveals and news from PlayStation Studios and developers around the world. And as you can see for the time zones, it will be live at 2 p.m. PST, 5 p.m. EST, and 11 p.m. CEST. With no leaker Nate the Hate being right once again, and on top of that, with the whole Xbox multi-platform shift, does this mean that we'll finally get to see the Ori series being ported to PlayStation? Well, now all we have to do is to wait for the PlayStation State of Play to be live tomorrow on whatever time zone that you live in. If you go to the Steam page right now, there is a Steam sale where you can get Ori and the Blind Forest for 75% off for $5. And if you search up Ori and the Will of the Wisps, you can also get it for 75% off. That is now $7.50. If you're looking forward to getting the Ori collection, you can get it now for $11.23. The sale ends at October 6, 2025. With the promotion being made by I Am A-Bit, posted way back in March 5th, 2025, saying grab a copy of our Ori and the Will of the Wisps 2X LP tomorrow at 9 a.m. PT on hand and ready to ship, with the link being shown. The first one being the Ori and the Blind Forest 2X LP 2020 reissue, where you could get it for $42.99 with 29 tracks on the definitive edition, including previously unreleased tracks. You can also get the Ori and the Will of the Wisps 2X LP for the same price, with the extended soundtrack of 60 tracks, so essentially you are getting having 99 tracks including the unreleased ones to cry your heart out. Our second old news is being made by First Four Figures with the promotion dated back to January 21st, 2025, with the pre-orders of the Ori and the Will of the Wisps Ori and Ku statue now open. Now during January 21 to February 24, there was a whole promotion, or as they call it, a sale, where you can get the statues for 30% off, and I was the fortunate few to get one of them. Now the prices are no easy task, with the Ori and the Will of the Wisps Ori and Ku exclusive edition night variation being priced at $48.99, the day variation also listed at the same price, the exclusive combo edition where you could get the night variation and the day variation for $949.99, which is close to $1,000, the typical night variation being listed at $444.99, and lastly the day variation, which is also listed for the same price. Now for me, I got the exclusive edition night variation during the sale between January 21st and February 24, where instead of me paying $49.99, I instead paid $459.99. Now the shipping is the final boss, where not only you have to pay for the price of the statue, but with the shipping is a total of $55. So if you bought the exclusive edition night or day variation for $489.99 plus the $55 shipping, that is a total of $544.99 in total. If you're paying for the exclusive combo edition for both the night and day variation, you are paying $1,004.99, and if you're getting the typical night or day variation, that is a total of $500. So for me, I had to pay a total of $515 for my order during the sale between January 21st and February 24th. With the tweet being made by Moral Productions, the creator and the animator for the Indie Cross series, he makes a tweet saying, "I wonder where he is," and it's the Shovel Knight looking at a mist of Aurora Borealis. With the reply being made by Spook NG saying, "It's Ori, I can feel it," and it's a screenshot from the game itself. I don't know if it's Ori and the Blind Forest or Ori and the Will of the Wisp, but it's either one of them, which has led people to speculate that Ori is going to be in the third episode of the Indie Cross series. Now I don't know if this is confirmed or this is going to be a subliminal tease by the animator and the creator himself, but until then we'll have to wait and see. With Halo now being ported to PlayStation, which is Xbox's biggest exclusive, that is a clear indicator that there is a chance that the Ori series can get ported to PlayStation, both Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisps. With the independent developer himself, Zachary Grabas, he has posted a new video showcasing a demo for the fan-made Ori 3 game that he's been developing, titled Fila in the Heart of Niwen. And to clarify, I did ask him if I could report on this for Daily Ori 3 News. With his permission, he said yes. His YouTube channel will be linked down below so you can support him. With the tweet being made by PlayStation themselves, they say, "Tune in Tuesday at 2 p.m. PT, 5 p.m. ET for State of Play Japan, a special broadcast created for gamers in Japan and Asia." Now the predictions for the State of Play, and those are Kingdom Hearts 4, Bloodborne 2, Final Fantasy 7 Part 3, or Phantom Blade 0. But there could be a possibility that we could get an Ori PlayStation port. I'm delusional. There's no outro for today. I'm just gonna end it right here. A PS5 case for Gears of War Reloaded containing the first 3 games of the Gears of War series in the PlayStation section in the gaming section while I was in Walmart. This is a clear sign that if Ori gets ported to PlayStation, there's going to be a disc cover for both Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisps. And if there's going to be a Ori collection, it'll also have a disc cover too. Now with this bundle of the Ori collection, you can play Ori and the Blind Forest, but the definitive edition in Ori and the Will of the Wisps. And instead of you paying $49.98, you are paying $44.98 with this 10% discount.
The one who's giving is by Omega Painter himself, a great artist by the way. It is a solid brass 2-inch coin, and the winner will be awarded on the 26th of November. However, you must be 18 plus to enter and live in the continental side of the United States to receive it. Once drawn and chosen, you have 24 hours to claim your prize before you lose your ornament. And then it'll be passed to someone else. After that is done, a new user will receive another gifted ornament. A new winner will be chosen every 6 hours. The link to the Discord will be in the description of the video. If you're here in regards of anything on Ori 3, it is unfortunate to say that yet again, we have no news for our little munchkin. It pains me to say it, but We are here now.
If you go to Steam right now, you can get the Ori collection. You can get Ori and the Blind Forest, but the definitive edition and Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Instead of you paying $44.98, you are paying $11.23 with a 75% off. And if you want to get the Ori soundtrack bundle, you could get the Ori and the Blind Forest soundtrack, the Ori and the Blind Forest definitive edition soundtrack, and the Ori and the Will of the Wisps soundtrack. And instead of you paying $22.48, you are paying $5.61 with a 75% off. With a total of 186 minutes of the Ori soundtrack combined, that is a total of 3 hours and 6 minutes of Ori music to cry for. Literally. As usual, the event is going to be hosted by Jeff Keighley himself on Thursday at 7:30 p.m. ET, 4:30 p.m. PT, and 12:30 a.m. GMT. With the announcement being made by one of the moderators of the Ori Discord server named Oakley, he says, "I am excited to inform you that the official Ori Cord Minecraft server is live. All information can be found in the pinned thread here on events." Back to talking about the Game Awards, hopefully we can see that both Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisps can finally get ported to PlayStation. Even though it may not sound like a guarantee, even though it may be a prediction, a theory, or just an overall wish to hoping what we can see here, but at the end of the day, we're just hoping that our little spirits can get ported to a different console, reach a greater audience from a different side, and get revived by the PlayStation community. As of me recording this video, the Game Awards is going to be live in 1 hour and 6 minutes at 7:30 p.m. EST, 4:30 p.m. PST, and 12:30 a.m. GMT. A large quantity of fandoms is going to be watching the Game Awards live and predicting and hoping that there's going to be a sequel or update to an upcoming game that they're hoping for to see. And for us in the Ori community and the daily Ori 3 news community, we're hoping that we get to see an announcement or a sneak peek of Ori 3 or a Ori PlayStation port. Will it be shown at the Game Awards? We'll have to wait and find out and see. If you go to his channel, his recent upload as of 2 days ago is a cutscene of a boss with the fire element being present in the fan-made game for Ori 3, that being titled Fila in the Heart of Niwen. With this article being posted by Somos Xbox, which translates to We Are Xbox in Spanish, is saying Microsoft is preparing for its most powerful year ever. These are the Xbox exclusives for 2026. Microsoft celebrates its 25th anniversary with a catalog packed with great franchises. Game Pass will receive more than 40 titles throughout the year. Xbox has confirmed its arsenal of Xbox exclusives for 2026, and the list promises to be historic. With the brand's 25th anniversary approaching, Microsoft has made a strong commitment to reviving its most legendary franchises and bringing new titles that will be available from day one. The full list of Xbox exclusives for 2026 will grow in the coming months, especially after January's Xbox Developer Direct. With over 40 games confirmed for Game Pass throughout the year, it's clear Microsoft is going all out to make this anniversary a landmark in the brand's history. Now, even though this article may seem irrelevant to the channel, this is quite hinting that there may be exclusives that are going to support it to different consoles, hence about the Xbox multi-platform shift that they have announced since 2024. And since we saw Ori and the Will of the Wisps in the shelves of exclusives that are part of Xbox, this might be hinting that we're possibly getting the Ori PlayStation port later this year. Even though this may be a hunch, this might be a possibility. With the tweet being made by Xbox is saying that it's officially Developer Direct season. Join us on January 22 at 10 a.m. PT for an exclusive look at Fable, Forza Horizon 6, and Beast of Reincarnation. With that tweet being made, there are now rumors of the Xbox games going to PS5, that being Avowed, Towerborn, South of Midnight, which has been announced to go to PlayStation back in the Game Awards of 2025, Halo Campaign Evolved, that was also announced in the showcase that is related to Halo back last year, Call of Duty 2026, I don't know what game this is, apparently this is an Xbox exclusive that is also coming to PS5, Forza Horizon 6, and the rumored they are going to PS5 are Starfield, Gears of War E-Day, and Fable is also potentially going to PS5. Now, with all that being said, of those that are confirmed that are going to PS5 and those that are also rumored to also be going to PS5 as well. Does this mean that the Ori series can also be ported to the PS5 when the Xbox Developer Direct starts being broadcasted on January 22nd? We're gonna have to wait and see until we find out. With the article being made by VGC, it says the Developer Direct will feature a secret fourth game update. VGC understands the fourth title is a smaller scale original game from an Xbox studio. The upcoming Xbox Developer Direct will feature a currently unannounced fourth game. The digital event will stream on Thursday, January 22 at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, and 6 p.m. UK, and include new looks at Forza Horizon 6, Fable, and the new game from the Pokemon developers Game Freak, Beast of Reincarnation. Now it's claimed that the show won't only feature those three games, according to Shinobi602, who has a history of reporting confidential information about upcoming games. The show will feature a quote-unquote secret fourth game. VGC can corroborate this and understand that the fourth game is a smaller scale original game from one of Xbox Game Studios' first-party developers. The fourth title will round off an event mainly focused on Xbox's big first-party games planned for 2026. Forza Horizon 6, which was announced last year and will take place in Japan, will be released on Xbox and PC before eventually coming to PlayStation 5. And these are the texts that are related to Shinobi602's claim that there's going to be a secret fourth game to the upcoming Xbox Developer Direct. Now, could this possibly lead to the assumption for Ori 3? We honestly don't know. There's only 2 days left before the Xbox Developer Direct becomes live, so we'll have to wait and see. Where if you go to Steam right now, instead of paying for $20, you get to pay it for $5, which is currently at 75% off. And if you wanted to get the second game, Ori and the Will of the Wisps, instead of paying for $30, you could pay it for $9.89 with a 67% discount. But if you wanted to get the collection, you can pay it for $13.39 with a 70% off deal, where instead of paying $45. And you can also purchase for the original soundtrack for Ori and the Blind Forest for $2.49 instead of the $10 with the 75% off discount, including the additional soundtrack for free. And you can purchase the soundtrack for Ori and the Will of the Wisps, where instead of paying $15, you could pay $4.94 with the 67% discount. From the official Nerds for the Wicked Twitter account, they said, "Hey folks, we're rolling out our upcoming co-op update soon. To celebrate it with our community, Twitch drops will be active alongside it. From January 22 to the 30th, watch eligible Twitch streams, earn in-game rewards, and redeem them via Captain Randolph inside your realm. Co-op, persistent realms, and rewards you keep. More details here with northforthewicked.com/Twitch drops links. Creators can reach us at press@moongamestudios.com. And the task is pretty simple. If you watch somebody play North for the Wicked for 120 minutes, that being 2 hours, from the 22nd to the 26th of January, you get to have the Songkeeper collectible, which is Ori holding Sin, with a picture of Naru. And if you watch somebody play Nerds for the Wicked from the 26th to the 30th of January for 90 minutes, that being an hour and 30 minutes, you get to have the Champion statue collectible, worth the Twitch drop. It all started when Friendly Aaron made this tweet: "I am losing faith in Red Dead Redemption 2 Enhanced. I'm starting to think Nate the Hate Source and every other outlet that corroborated just got Red Dead Redemption 2 and Red Dead Redemption 1 mixed up, considering the fact that internally Red Dead Redemption 1 is called Red Dead Redemption 2. Juicer added Nate the Hate, saying, "Opinions?" He said it was not confused for the Red Dead Redemption 1. And then Jojo PS971 says, "Hello there, is a state of play in February?" He responded by saying, "There will be, yes." Razor added Nate the Hate again, saying, "Nate, we all know there's going to be a state of play because it's usually like that. The question is, will it be at the beginning of February or at the end?" He responded by saying first half. Then Razor replied again by saying thank you. So probably 11 or 12th of February or 18 to the 19th of February. And then he gave us the confirmed release date, February 12th. So with this presumably being the date for the PlayStation State of Play, will we finally see the PlayStation port for the Ori series? Well, we're gonna have to wait for the next 17 days to hope that our wishes come true. With the article being made by Polygon, it says Xbox clears up its stance on PS5 versions on day one up to a point. Microsoft is aiming to be more consistent, says wait for Forza Horizon 6 as a development issue. During last week's Developer Direct showcase, Microsoft revealed that Playground Games Fable will be released on PS5 at the same time as on Windows PC and Xbox Series X this fall. Playground Games Forza Horizon 6, however, will not. The racing game sequel will come out on PC and Xbox on May 19th, but the PS5 version will arrive later in 2026. It was a similar story last year. Obsidian Entertainment's Avowed, released in February, is still waiting its PS5 version, while Obsidian Entertainment's The Outer Worlds 2 saw a day-and-date multi-platform release in October. In 2025, however, Microsoft multi-platform release strategy was relatively new, and it was understandable that its development studios might be playing catch-up. This year, that's less true. What is Microsoft's multi-platform strategy exactly? Why are PS5 versions of same games held back but not others? Is timed Xbox console exclusivity still a thing in some cases? In an interview with Games Radar, Xbox exec Craig Duncan answered these questions up to a point. Duncan is the head of Xbox Game Studios, a development and publishing group that includes Playground, Obsidian, Halo Studios, Rare, and many others, but does not include Bethesda or Activision Blizzard teams. Duncan insisted that Xbox Game Studios will continue to make platform publishing decisions on a case-by-case basis. But he also said that Xbox would try to be quote-unquote more consistent with its PS5's release strategy, and suggested that the extra wait for Forza Horizon 6 was a development issue rather than a strategic move. Reading between these lines of his answers, it does seem that day one PS5 releases are the rule, though there will be exceptions. Quote, there's always development realities about when these projects start, how a big team is, and what plans we have at the start of development, Duncan said. When a strategy changes, maybe you've got a plan that exists with a game and maybe you can adopt that, maybe you can't. And to be clear, this is totally fair feedback. Sometimes we are inconsistent. You see some games in one place, some games in multiple places. Just know that we're going to work on that and we're going to try and be more consistent with what we do. Duncan said that addressing the largest possible audience is always a primary concern. Quote, that's always our goal, he said. It's rarely more complicated than that. But he also stressed that releasing the best possible version of a game for a platform would always take priority over making a day-and-date release. Whenever our games show up, we want them to show up and be the best they can be for that platform, he said. If we're only in a position to release a game on a platform and not have it show up really well, then I think we wouldn't do that. Not everything is limitless. In short, it sounds as though the PS5 version of Forza Horizon 6 will simply not be ready for release on May 19th, and that the Forza team, unlike the Fable team, did not have the available resources or enough planning runway to make sure that it was. Naturally, allocating those resources is a business decision that will be influenced by many factors, one of which may be that Forza Horizon 5 was only released on PS5 9 months ago and has been selling just fine. But according to Duncan, reaching as many players as possible is the #1 priority for Microsoft, and delaying a game on any platform is a decision that will only be made for the game's own sake. In other words, Xbox console exclusivity for its own sake is really a thing of the past. So if this article being posted and the confirmed date for the PlayStation State of Play that's going to be in February 12th of this year, does this mean that we'll finally get to see a Ori PlayStation port for both games, Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisps? For now, we're going to have to wait and see, and we currently have exactly 2 weeks before the PlayStation State of Play is live. With the tweet being made by the official Ori the Game Twitter account saying the amazing BAFTA Games in Concert featuring music from Ori and the Will of the Wisps kicked off this last Saturday, but it's not too late to go see it. There are still 6 more days coming up later this year. Click the link below to check it out. The link to that is going to be in the description for you guys to be able to join. The showcase is going to be 60 minutes long with news, gameplay updates, and announcements from game studios across the globe, and it's going to start at 2 p.m. PT, 5 p.m. ET, and 11 p.m. CET. Now with the PlayStation State of Play that's going to be live tomorrow, does that mean that we'll finally get a PlayStation port of the Ori series? Let's hold hands, pray, and hope that it'll be announced tomorrow. And that is going to conclude for our 1-year anniversary of daily Ori 3 news. I still find it hard to believe it's already been a year since I started this channel, and we have almost 333 subscribers as of me recording this video. Every comment that I have gotten, every like, every share, every view that I have gotten from every video that I've posted on this channel, is surreal to me. And the fact that I've been mentioned in the official Ori subreddit, the fact that I've been talked about in the official Ori Discord server, and the fact that you guys are still watching these videos despite my lack of hope, honestly. It's been an entire month since we have gotten any news that's Ori related, that is Xbox related, or that is Moon Studios related. And it is kind of sad that this is the kind of 11-year anniversary that the Ori series has. And to be brutally honest and sincere with all of you, I don't think that there's gonna be a Ori PlayStation port in the future. Despite the many rumors, despite the replies of Thomas Mandler, I'm being just sincere and real with you guys. I don't think there's gonna be an Ori PlayStation port. I'm not a. I don't know if Moon Studios is currently working on one. I don't know if Moon Studios is also just trying to do the finishing touches, but honestly I expected this Ori PlayStation port to release on Ori's birthday, and there hasn't been any. And it's also sad because when I hopped on Twitter, I was expecting to see some anniversary fan art of the Ori series, and I rarely got to see any, sadly. This is why I made this channel in the first place, because I feel like a lot of people who haven't heard or forgotten about this series, this game needs to be heard of more than just a trailer or a playthrough that a YouTuber did a couple years back. This game changed a lot of lives, and even though that I've never played it before because I'm still waiting for the PlayStation port, I am 100% confident that as soon as this game gets ported to PlayStation, I will get that same sentiment and that feeling that this game will be my top favorite. If you guys did enjoy this 1-year anniversary of Daily Ori 3 news and want to be part of the Discord server, the link to that will be in the description. That's all I'm going to say. Thank you guys so much for the support. Thank you guys for 1 year of Daily Ori 3 news. And I'll be seeing you all next time.